Eda Bank of Ghana no HRS enei ewose bank nyina wonum hye na akni bank no wonum hye mukena wode abefo kwanso AI no etimi ehye mukena se de be ya beboa ama na gina brand Sanso ena ene no bed syndrome committee ya wonum eti yesa wanyemu hwehwemu ede owuo bi eba ye no wonum de won hwehwemu abeto abonten ye de enkyeremu ede bebremu Sanso ena empanimfo ebo amane se kejetia phase 2 Nebuo no apeja ni mu pa edi akọ 305 million pounds eno eni sikaboti na wonum di behyem eno ti na ama no delay no Ensem wey ene de ka ho bie ene ye de besomwo wo anwumere no nsia brem kase yi so meka wo se obenya kase ne bi na wahye e wo Facebook Fache TV senso ena YouTube nso eye Fache TVGH na www.facheonline.com ye kuruchire de gu ho obenya bi na watumi akenkan ye ne a mede kase yi ebesomwo eye me Obrempong akwesi jeboa mene
Kaakyire enimidi ye bestra na don hwere ba ko imu wo de wo bre afam ye bra kase ni nkyeremu no ye de ema
ko ahodo wonum Simjin ewiase enkankro ene Ghana ene ebiman enkankro nyina na ne nyina eka 3AI wonum dwumadi a wodie ewa hanom se de be ya ebeboa na befo kwanso yetimi edi dwuma na no ena opanimpa ya wono eda Bank of Ghana ano Dr. Johnson Pandit asiama ede to wonum nyina animu no kire se ebraso se yen bank ahodo sika korabia ahodo a ewo ankrankra ene omaya ahodo ni nyina mu no yetimi ehyemu kenapa na yeboa na abefo kwaso yetimi ede emfidie ede dwumade ye frɛ no high valued digital no yetimi ede di dwuma se de be ye beboa ama Africa yensika sem atimi agina brani na enkoye se yen nyina yede yani abeto ene ochina yede app way asend sika yede way asend sika na mum se yede digital no edi dwumade a yemfa de amuoden na yenyemu hwehwemu yie se de be ya yebetumi abo abebiman yensika eho ban na aboa ama sika sem atimi akoyie Dr. Johnson Pandit.
We must also focus on the development of indigenous firms in this endeavor. Africa's digital finance ecosystem must not only grow, it must mature. Firms with strong potential must have access to the partnerships, capital, and infrastructure required to scale sustainably. A strong financial system is not defined by activity alone, it is defined by discipline, it is defined by transparency, and it is defined by competitiveness. So, ladies and gentlemen, the value of this summit will not be measured by the conversations we just have, but on the other hand, by the outcomes we drive hereafter. Stronger alignment across markets, across the sub-region, better coordination across regulators, and faster progress towards financial systems that are inclusive, that are innovative, and that are capable.
Dr. Johnson Pandit esiama koswa de nsem ne bi etwa so ene wo kire mu se eno nti se oba oman Ghana mu a Bank of Ghana wonum edin hyehyɛ yahodo kra ena egu akwan mu se de be ya ebetumi abo ankrankra hodo a wonum edi gya ewo abefo entintanfidie ni so se de beya sikasem mu ebetimi abo ho ban na enioma esisi yie ewo edwadie kwan so na oman Ghana sikasem etimi agina yie na woni a wodi gya no so yetimi abo won ho ban ede aka ho.
At the Bank of Ghana, we have taken a deliberate approach. Our objective has been clear, and that is to build a regulatory and market environment, that supports innovation while maintaining stability and trust. This is reflected in the steps we have taken to strengthen the framework for digital finance. And let me name a couple of them. Advancing the regulatory regime for virtual assets. Next is issuing guidelines for digital credits. Then the third is progressing open banking. The last one, of course, is supporting cross-border fintech activity. So these are not isolated initiatives. They are part of a coherent effort to ensure that the financial system evolves in a way that is structured, that is predictable, and that is capable of supporting innovation at
no bed syndrome fini ya wode ama empa ya ehuntai kwa atwe ho ayasame ahodo mu na say no bed syndrome eba beje ntre ha ewo Ghana na ye owura bi ode Charles Amisa no ye engineer na nipa no womode na kopia ya sabia na esese wode no tompa so ehwe no na empani honti womanya baabi amfa no anto na owura no efa so ehwere ne nkwan eba saa pe na ahye ya ehwa pomde ho nsem so ene won mo so afo yewra kwabra minta akando epa committee yeba asumko na wotu wondi no bed syndrome committee se wo monkoye nhwehwemu mfa kwan a Charles Amisa efa so efri mom adwuma ya anesefo ne apomdi adwuma efo asabre no mo wa ya asabia ne ye na ne kwan so ano no ene won mode won mo hwehwemu okoye ye ho ano di nsem na beto empanimfo anim ensusuye ya won mode aba ene se ebra Charles Amisa kodura ya asabia ho no anesefo ne apomdi adwuma efo a wo ho no ante won mani anhwe no eno na kofa asa atoro nchem no eba ye no eno ntini won mo eka ene se apomdi adwuma mu no esese won mo de professionalism eye adwuma ene se adwuma bia e won nhyehyɛ ne mra ya eda ho na wedie won mo hu se apomdi adwuma efo asa da na mo ya asabia ho no won mo ebu so broni beka se breach of professionalism eno nti esese empanimfo hwetwe won ma so ebra wonya won mo nenam o my Ghana mu ha sa akwa na committee no won mo titina nim ene Professor Badu Akosa wono enene wode sa amane yi ebo mpanimfo.
The medical staff on duty at the police hospital, Greater Accra Regional Hospital and Kolebu Teaching Hospital failed to attend to Charles Amisa when he was in a life-threatening condition, and this led to his avoidable death. Specific recommendations. Dr. Anne-Marie Kudewo should be referred to the management of police hospital and to the Medical and Dental Council for disciplinary action against her for breach of professional duty to Charles Amisa and for being untruthful to the committee. Dr. Nina Naomi Ezram Adotevi should be referred to the management of Greater Accra Regional Hospital as their employer. They have oversight, administrative and management disciplinary processes that they must go through, and the Medical and Dental Council for disciplinary action against her for breach of professional duty to Charles Amisa. Dr. Ida Drance should be referred to the management of Kolebu Teaching Hospital and Medical and Dental Council for disciplinary action against her for breach of professional duty to Charles Amisa. Dr. Genevieve Ajar should be referred to the management of Kolebu Teaching Hospital and Medical and Dental Council for disciplinary action against her for breach of professional duty to Charles Amisa. Ms. Akosia B. Texan should be referred to the management of Greater Accra Regional Hospital and to the Nurses and Midwives Council for disciplinary action against her for breach of professional duty to Charles Amisa. Ms. Joy Daisy Nelson should be referred to the management of Korle Bu Teaching Hospital and the Nurses and Midwives Council for disciplinary action against her for breach of professional duty to Charles Emerson. Ms. Salamatu Al-Hassan Edu should be referred to Korle Bu Teaching Hospital and Nurses and Midwives Council for disciplinary action against her for breach of professional duty to Charles Emerson.
Sansemienti oswafo shapom de hon samso kwabna minta akando ashe opani kwantrefo a wo hye entotoye so e wo Ministry of Health say ni manimu ya won sha ase nya ntotoye ya efa asotwe bia wo de bema sa apom de adwuma efo ehu ene won ma ya asabia ya wo ye adwuma efri mu no ne mpanimfo ahodo ya wo ho abon sa ensemi mu. Minister of Health say obi eboapa ebetena ne to so aye nhwe han ma niam akwa ache boni beka say negligence ewo na adwuma wo ye mu no nya de a won besoso so kra ewo Ghana pomden ahye ye hobiem efri sabre ekono so won betu na mo bia ye safata ahwe say sa no be syndrome ho sensem ne atorencham a ede eba no ebi enkosi biem.
The most important aspect, as Professor stated, the most important aspect is for us to be able to avoid the avoidable deaths we have witnessed. And therefore, without wasting much time, I want to accordingly direct my chief director, the chief director of the Ministry of Health, to write to the following people, the following health professionals and their hospitals and their regulators, that disciplinary actions be taken against them. 1. Dr. Anne-Marie Kudowo should be referred to the police hospital and the Medical and Dental Council with immediate effect. Dr. Nina Naomi Iram, Greater Accra Regional Hospital and the Medical and Dental Council. Dr. Ida Drant be referred to Korle Bu Teaching Hospital and the Medical and Dental Council. I understand some of these facilities have already started disciplinary actions against some of these people, and I'll urge them to expedite action on them, and their respective regulators must also do same. Dr. Genevieve Aja must also be referred to Korle Bu Teaching Hospital and Medical and Dental Council. Ms. Akosia B. Texan must be referred to the Greater Accra Regional Hospital and then NMC. Ms. Joy Daisy Nelson, Korle Bu Teaching Hospital and NMC. Ms. Salamatu Al-Hassan Bedu must also be referred to Korle Bu Teaching Hospital and NMC. Before this incident, some measures had already been taken with respect to our emergency response in this country. We had already started the electronic bed management. And so at that point, we were doing the barcoding and the inventory taking of all beds, beginning or piloting with the regional hospitals and the teaching hospitals. So today, ladies and gentlemen in the press, will have the opportunity to visit that particular site at Greater Accra Regional Hospital to see the progress made so far.
Yegusua ewo apomodin ho ensem eso na enei wo enkran pumpuni mantamu apomodin ho enkasa ho dwumadie etimi akoso ya watu ne din African Health Workforce Investment Forum eno ena etimi ekoso wo honom na no na oman Ghana osofo ya wo hye apomodin so wogina simpie so no odi nkomose oba Ghana enkameya yese training colleges ahodo a yetiti anese ene adokotafo ewo honom nyina enei nanka eye certificate ena yedema wonum nanso wonum ebe pagya ni nyina mu ede akọ degree enti se ukọ training college bia nursing training college na wuvia degree ena empanifo de bema wo de bebo wabaso na woso watimi ede akọ dijuma ni nyina efapem ene se wopese wo boa na ne de ye friend specialist no wonum etimi do so wo my Ghana mu se de beya wobetimi aboa ma apomudengye no etimi agina brane wo Ghana na enkoye te se wonum nyina aye certificate fo na woni a wokuta degree no nyina aye kakra bi womo a wo free university fo no nko a na eye na wonum ewo special training ya wonum edebeboa eno nti wo hye na animonimu ya ene be se school be se 15 edunum de wonum be hyase AFIA wo degree na ebema wonum na de aka de school be se 40 ya ewo o my Ghana mu ni nyina wo beyi e de free certificate e de akọ degree.
At the moment, we have assessed not less than 40 of our health institutions that we are moving from the diploma awarding institutions to degree awarding institutions. I dare say that about 15 of them are going to start this year. That said, we realized that there were gaps in the specialties, and therefore there was the need to fill those gaps. Well, we roll out Bahama Cares, which is dedicated towards the treatment of non-communicable diseases. And before you can effectively treat non-communicable diseases, you need certain specialties. And that's where we have those gaps. And so we have started in some institutions in the country. For example, Tamale Teaching Hospital, Kolebu, and then Konfanochi, where we are enrolling people to pursue some courses hitherto were not being pursued in the country. Oncology, critical nursing, nephrology. So the aim, number one, is to be able to fill the gaps and also to meet the global markets.
Oba time bia ya ne ba ewo suapon mu no ade ba ko ya ayesika sem haw ene dadwene ne koda na ede ama wonom ayesika obenya ede akope baabi ama ne ba no ada ansa na watimi agene ntete ye hostel nene se wonkuta 10,000 Ghana cedis ekosora wunya hostel la suku nkwada mienu anasa miensa kra demu enhan ema wo ba asemia twetwe so ama student leadership Omei Ghana esuafo akandifo no wonomo ede etu mpanimfo anim se baabi ade no aduro de sasa wonomo ekasa mu se de hostel fees no eyaye atwamenebo na wonomo esisi hostel no ede aye kokoafuo ya wonomo etie twa wonomo no eye ohaw kase pa ntimpanimfo nhye na wonomo emramu na wodi wani ekire enkrayam esuafo ya wonomo ede da hostel bi ti se Viking wonomo ekire se fees a one ya esi hostel no eje wo mo no afedi ahanhani ama won mo entumi entua na said esuafo abosudwetire no aka ho bi ama rent control department anasa commission ya wo Ghana ha won mo esi fom akọ any hostel empanimfo ya wo omai Ghana mu akọtwetwe enkomo na ne won mo eka ene se mra no nhyehyeye eda ekwa ofa so de dan ma han
a petition from Lux and students are very much worried. And for us, because we didn't come for any enforcement, we came to interact. There was no need to do any, showing strength here. But what I saw on the list is that hostel per room with about two, students. They are taking two in a room. They are taking 10,000 Ghana cedis. Now we don't understand the methods that you use in pricing, and the only institutions close with the authority and the power to see how prices are set is Rent Control Department. That's why we are here, and clearly they are running away from their evil deeds. That's unfortunate. Number one, it's unfortunate. I don't know whether because it's on Legon campus, and I know Legon campus is also above the law, and we are aware there are private hostels also on these campuses, and the fact that there are private hostels here does not take them out of the rules of the game. I know very well that if it's about government, we want to write respectful to the Honorable Minister for Education, which I will probably will go and see him and talk to him. But I'm aware that this Viking hostel is a private entity. And for that reason, it's important that we interact.
And Chepi, ye kasie so ye bebo amane se kejetia emaya wonum edija ewo hono mu no de ofre no kejetia Dubai no wonum ani abrepa etintesu kokko de kira ban kire se kejetia phase 2 no anwe ne se akansensemu ya wontumi entoa so eno nti wode sun esre aban se womra na wometoa so enye emfama wonum na eno na aban ti ye eneda yi wama waswafo ya wono eye local government chieftaincy and religious affairs washa wadano wone encentrofo akasa kirem de ntia kejetia phase 2 market no etimi ache na aban no etimi enweye ne nkiremu nyina eye kakrabi ne nyina ene se eye eka ene da ho eye sika ya emu apeja sika botina nka wose wonum de ye phase 2 no apeja ade akọ 305 million euros eno ena akoduru na ekoduru honom ne nso ade baako ne se moma mo remfi se abanda da no bra na wonum woso no wode oman yiti ekose bibia se ye frɛ no bond no wode yenti ekose mu na eno nti ama yentimi ende ye ho enkofa sika bia emfa mfiri baabi foforo emfa emehye edwane mu eno eye kejetia phase 2 ene takrade market ni nyina eka ho bi eno nti na ama no atwetwe asan na ebesisa mere mpanimfo ntumi ntu ho anamon emfa enwie edwano eno nti de woka nyina ne se yenkan yakoma ento yenyam na mpanimfo kosoa atu anamon bia se wobetumi se de beya obetumi aye ede afiri honom. Honorable Ahmed say ana wade etu eja Ahmed Ibrahim.
On the financial side, out of the contract sum of 248 million euros, an amount of 245 million euros, an amount of 143.575 million was certified and received by the contractor, with a cumulative financial amount certified amount of 27 million. So they paid 143 million and they certified additional 27 million to be added. So if that had been paid, the total amount contract work and pay would have been 177. So, and this is the breakdown. The cumulative certified amount of 27.4 million outstanding yet to be honored by the Ministry of Finance. The following sums the total financial situation on the project. The total contract sum of the phase 2, 248 million euros. Total assessment issued to date, 203.9 million euros. An amount total assessment paid, 171 million. So out of the total 273, total assessment paid was 171 million. Amount outstanding on contract is 44 million. Meaning the 248 million that we went for, the amount left outstanding is 44 million, but the project is not completed. Suspension claims as of today is 57.3 million. The contractor said, because you made me demobilize from site and I was waiting, the waiting period, you have to pay me an amount of 57 million euros, whether I worked or I didn't work. And that was the nature of the contract. So that is what we are discussing. By this 57 million, the contractor was claiming 101 million. And the former Minister for Finance and the former Minister for Local Government, plus the contractor, negotiated the 101 million and brought it down to 57 million. Following the above breakdown, the total contract sum for the Kumasi Central Market Phase 2, putting together the original contract sum and the suspension claims, bring the total contract sum as of today to 305,316,528 euros.
Se bondwa abanda da no ede yenti kwhya se debt restructuring ya na wonum eye no eno ne ka ho bie ama eneyi kejetia market phase 2 ene takrade market no etimi aka ho besisa mere na wontumi nto aso eno o kire se ebra na wonum ede suspension notice wo ka kire contractor no se wo de won twetwen ensensen se de be ya obeto ne bu ase na mpanimfo timi aye mu hwehwemu no na takrate market circle no na eduru 81.62% na se akakra bi na nkawawie na Kumasi market phase 2 project no so no eda 58.2% na no so akakra na mpanimfo timi akọwanim se de be ya obetumi awie na so obetumi akase sesei ayedin o ayedin papa bia ya wonum kopesi kapa de abeto aso no ayedin ede ama wo.
Government commitment for urgent completion of both Kumasi Central Market, Kaakyire Phase 2, and the Kaakyire Circle redevelopment projects. These two market projects are not merely infrastructure initiatives. They are strategic investment aimed at transforming urban commerce, improving livelihoods, and promoting inclusive economic growth. The market in Kumasi and Kaakyire serve as critical commercial hubs, supporting thousands of traders, transport operators, artisans, and small-scale enterprises. Unfortunately, despite significant progress made over the years, both projects experienced delay due to non-payment of IPCC by the previous government and demobilization by the contractors in 2024. The debt restructuring policy of the then government led to the accumulation of huge suspension costs claimed by the contractors, leaving critical components of the project uncompleted. This situation has created considerable challenges, including the following. 1. Congestion and unsafe trading conditions, loss of income for traders and associated businesses, underutilization of already invested public resources, and slower economic activity within key
afwe ekoso abo anhoba ekire mu se eno nti din a aye no anti na aban papa aba no nti wonum be hoso na emodem mo bia obetumi abo no ede aboa se de be ya contractor besan aba na wabetoa so awie amatemamufo atimi anya sa edwa kese mienu yi esomfaso no wonum ebehwe na watu ho anamo.
Kaakyire Market Project. On 20th April 2020, the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development signed a EPC turnkey contract with Mrs. Contractor Contrizioni Italian SRE Limited for design, execution, and completion of the new Kaakyire Market for an amount of 48 million euros for a period of 36 months. At the time of notice of suspension, the overall progress of work was 81.62%, comprising 100% for engineering, 88.85% for procurement, and 62.31% for construction. So for the Kaakyire Market, the total construction stage was 62.3%, leaving around 38% for it to be completed. But as for the procurement, because it is engineering, procurement, and construction, the procurement was 100%, the engineering was 88.85%, and the construction was 62.31%. On the financial side, out of the contract sum of 48 million euros, an amount of 41.8 million euros had been certified and received by the contractor with interim payment certificate number 9 and 10. An amount of 7 million euros, which was part of the negotiated claims, has also been paid. Meaning that one too, because the contractor demobilized and went and was standing waiting for the period. The waiting period, because it is not what you do that we pay. That's the nature of the contract. If you say 48 months, when you say wait small, you have to pay me for the waiting. So the suspension claim, an amount of 7 million euros.
Also for ya owo abaimu. Na washe ewiemu nsakraye ene ehu dwumadie eso yewra Seidu Isifu. Edi ato ebibremu aman mpanimfo enim se braso se won mo pekwan bi fa so ebo foto a obetimi edi aso wo hawa hodo ne atoranchem ye ewiemu nsakraye edi ebre African continent no anom. Se won mo fa wo ho nto kwasikwa mo aso bebre firi se nei o hye enkrata mu ade wo hunu a ene se emwa ya ankane na efri amarone eba na wo mode ehye ewiemu nsakraye eho atoranchem no esotia na ete eba fomum na wase na nsen ewiase sika krabia batan World Bank for e de amane bi ebetu dwa afi 2020 nkwa no sika ya o my Ghana ehweye na $195 million ana won mo de ekon ensakraye bone ya ewiemu e de ebaye enti se before amre wo mo jani na wo mo ankasa mpesika ensie amfa ntwe sa atore nchem no na abrebia wo so de wani tukwasiko so a ebetumi akofa wo haw aba Government Accountability Series ekoso ene asie ena minister ekasai.
Because these funding sources are drying up, we have to build our own financial resilience. African countries, global South, must build their own financial resilience. And this can only happen if there's fairness. Look at our debt levels. Okay? If you go to the World Bank Country Climate Report, in 2020 alone, Ghana lost $195 million owing to climate hazards. 1 year. And it is projected that if something is not done about that, by the year 2050, and annually we'll be losing close to $550 million every year. So this is the magnitude of the problem. Okay? Now, countries within the global South will have to go borrow money from the capital market to fix this problem. These problems are not caused by us. We are not responsible, but we have to fix it. Okay? So we are saying that let us take care of this debt. We have to find a way to recalibrate this debt globally using climate financing, using carbon credit, other opportunities that are available to free countries, give us that economic space.
Oswafo Seidu Isifu etwa so etrese enhihyebi eda omai Ghana ene ewiase sika krabia batan World Bank for entemon ya watu din se Ghana Cocoa Forest Red Plus program na asia no World Bank for ede sika $21.8 million ena abre omai Ghana se wonfa enkom wo how any susan so bone a ewiemu sakraye ede abejai Ghana so titru pa de ama enframa bone enamwiemu no omanfo ehumi bi ekowo mu na wasen hyehyɛ no ase no mo ehwɛ ani mo se sika beye $50 million ena won mo ede ebepia Ghana se de beya ensase ya omanfo ebu enua eguo nyina won mo ebetumi agina so no obesan ede adua enua no amakwa ebrentuo no oman ensase tam nyina san fa ne ntoma pa efra enti wo hwɛ ani mo se enche sika no de aka no empanimfo ede beba na emom wo ka asisu dua se kwasikoko entimi nkosoa emfasika moa emre Africa won mo ampefoto se de beya dachi hawa ebeba no won betumi ede aso ano.
So far $21.8 million has been paid, and we still have a balance of about $28 million outstanding. So that is the state of the red. And like I told you, the red is an Article 6 arrangement, between Ghana and our collaborators.
Afi Eshasiye no Ghana mampanyin abedi akyire Professor Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman wode nsrahye ahodoɔ na ahyehye so wɔ my Ghana mu na ne abanya so ya ahodoɔ nyinaa wɔ srasra wonum na wɔhwɛ sɛdeɛ wɔndwumadie esi etie na enei wakopie mu ɛwɔ District Assembly's Common Fund wonum asoye na no na wɔpanimpa ya wɔda asoye no ano Michael Harry Yamson wode ensem bi tudwa no wɔkyerɛ sɛ sesei nhyehyɛ foforo kra ɛna wode egu akwan mu na ne nyinaa ɛne sɛ sika ya nanka wonum edema assembly ne nyinaa ɛnei wɔbɛkyekyɛ mu nketenkete na ebi atumi akɔ electoral areas no na wonum ɛnenim haw pɔte ya wonum ehia sɛ de bɛya wɔbɛtumi de sika no abɔ sa bra no ɛwɔ district assembly hɔ no ma na sɛ electoral area hɔ na aboa amampuntunyum a timamufo a ɛwɔ fam ɛhyehyɛ no wɔnsa atumi aka na ɛnkɔyɛ sɛ wode command district assembly na wonum de wɔpɛ ɛna wode ɛkɔyɛ ɛwɔ baabi a wonum ɛhyehyɛ sɛ ɛbɛboa nanso okɔ electoral area the assembly members for no wonum da no a enkamea ye se wo mo pa enenim hawo eno nti wabie akonya se 2026 yi enhyehyɛ awodo kra ya wonum edi gu akwamu ene se electoral area ne nyina wonum de sikabote ne bɛkɔ akɔhyɛ wonum ma se de bɛya empuntunyum ahodo a esefata krobia ene electoral area bia no wo mo ankasa ebetumi atu ho anamon na aboa ama timamufo atumi anya so emfaso opanimpa ya wode nsɛm yi atu dwa eye Michael Harry Yamsen.
Shifting to planning the distribution of development to electoral areas, not districts. Now we have the data working in collaboration with the Electoral Commission. So we can now be more specific, more granular in advising where development goes. But at the same time, we are going to focus on making sure that there's equity in regional development as well. We know the deprivation that a new region like OT will have, and we have to make sure that now that we are going granular, we do it in such a way that we bring the regional disparities, we remove the regional disparities. The second thing is the grant revenue share. Now it is, shall I say, 0. But by 2028, we want the private grant money to be 15% of the total funds that we manage here. We also want to build a more active relationship with development finance institutions, because now that we have the Community Partners Fund, we are more able to engage them and contract with them to take money and spend on development, local development issues.
Yeah, call and crime mantam no mo na domia bra and crime mrano no mo baako sesie ya ye kasai eniema enkoye emomanfo ye tete domia bra na wono mo sono egujemu eye amomanfo dodo no a enwani abo abia mo fise mpanimfo eye aye wono mo etukotenafo ne nyina ne se wono mo da sore ene anopa ya wakwa akwafa bulldozer abesi domia bra mpotamu ho na adan ya wono mo adwiragu no enya asam keto keka ebomu a wokyerɛ sɛ bɛyɛ adan apem ane akyire ɛna mpanimfo adwiri ne nyinaa egwo nkrɔfo sesen ɛka ho bi filling station ka ho saa na community clinic ya ɛhɔ ɛna wɔn ho dodo wɔn ɔmokɔ ɛkɔgya yaresa nyinaa ka ho bi na waso wɔde waso ɛne wani toto fam no nea wɔn mo ate ɛne sɛ adwumakuo bi ɛyɛ enipa bi de ɛyɛ private company nipa no edin ɛde Frederick Kofi Asare na saa adwumakuo no enese asase no eye won mo dia won mo ato no dadadadada e wo ho nkrata nyina nti won mo akopie high court ne supreme court nyina na mpanimfo ama won kwan se wotumi ebubu nkrofo adane asese bia wasisie e won sase no so na ma kwan e mo de ye wo mo project a wo pese wo ye na de omanfo no pese wo ka ene se won adwumakuo ntwe ne tenten na mom wanyi won mo sotre ama won bre se bia obeyi won mo niam akra afri adane asese no emu and what you nyina gu nti sei wani abo abiem wo mo ani ahahan pa ya ba bi odo nti beto kra e ho asem kan ayeden ama wo no nti aban e na wo dwane ato ano apemwa
and put law in order. Omuma embrace so. Obi nya notice. Otene dem. Inti imagine say obi ene ne bada wa na say obi ne mbato wa. Onya hwe na ebebu dan ye de guru so mewu. No, we should just be fair. Ye nya etimem for we are citizens. Me nya Togoni, me nya Nigeria ni, make a media for no, you know me.
And you just bet my media with but you bet one among. Want to me say will be a DS apple. Sadia matter. Yan Yomu Ghana has Yan Ghana Makakra. Sadia be Udia. How you would say if I visit them when you know Adiana Udia. Mimina Mama Metu. Yes, said in 1972. Ewa. Now way. Even Sakra Odia, then where I see Tama Yesidano. That's who said dances from your 1 month. No way. Bet me. Ye nim be penny for akasa no mo man baba mata ya say obi dan ama for your boys be dan e wa han wa be bubu no dan for how makashia chubia masa ye something nala sisi ya ko kro no ye fe nidi mo shade ma ye na ga na fo ye na ne to aba it mo di machine am for days what na kashia chubia what na say ye no me nala sadi ye tell you ya de wo ju asas kra obi oti asase so what na ye way so me di machine say na people no people and part ni yoma Na me fra me bando mbla mbɔhwe ada wɔle nzie mpɔhwe nka yɛhwe na tu woduru ha na mbisa panyin ba mbisa panyin no kɔ na ɔse yɛfrɛ ne da asasom de bi atɔ dada ɔyɛ bi na asase aha ntin bi ana ɔno na ɔle apart from that me nim hwe metima aka bi obi enim hwe me nim nde da kwa me yɛ adwuma ha obi ama ha obi the court card no me nya ha na me wɔ new botian no ntin ma me na adwuma ntin me ba ha aha nti me nim ho hwe bi okay yeah.
Enti said your mom for tete domia bra wo mo de awerɛhoɔ ɛkasa na wo sufrɛ aban so mɛyɛ wɔn momoa ɛne akɔhwɛ no na adwumakuo yi a wɔka wɔn ho asɛm yi owura bi ɛka ho bi a wɔde Dr. Henry Ado nea wɔka ɛne sɛ court ama wɔn mutumi krataa no wɔta kyerɛ sɛ wɔn mu bu adan no de wɔn mo nyɛ bɔne.
Identified him as one of the grantees, and then the grantors also joined. Per what my records are telling me now, I've seen copies of judgments, and it gives me the opportunity. We've been here already on the first instance to the police. I believe that all this exercise goes through the legal department of the Ghana Police Service. Competent lawyers within the police administration would have to probe through to ensure that whatever judgment is being given is gone through due process. We were here about a week ago to supervise the police team coming in their numbers to ensure that the order for possession is taken. After the possession exercise, notices were still served on the various houses as to those who were interested to come and negotiate with the FKA who got the judgment. Some are arguing whether the families of the Jambiamu family were part of the court process. Yes, so far as your name appears on the suit and you contested the case from beginning till end, you've been part and parcel of the case.
So coming to today's exercise.
Yes, your judgment plan for you to negotiate with them. So several notices were pasted. After the possession was carried out, notices were sent, pasted to the doors of those residents, and they waited for them for some time, in as much as contacts were made available for them to call.
National Road Safety Authority in Nkrabataya ewo Asante Mantemu openimpa ya wodano eye akwasi ajenim boaten na enei wodwumadie ya watu ne din safe mobility for all young people in Ghana sie no wode nsem bi atugya no ochire mu se wo hye nkratan mu na obu nkonta se obepiem wa Asante Mantemu a ka akwanhiawuo ene woni aka abo wonu maku won no amani mu so pa akosoro eno nti ena wonum de sa kasa ho adwumadie ehyehyɛ so na enkontabo ekire se ohye afi mu a woni aka ede wonum anya nkonhia wa Asante Mantemu ama wonum ahwe won kwa eye 202 enipa nko a ena wawu ewo sankonhia ne mu sa wode tutu afrase a efri January ebesi March no mu a eno so nanka eye 194 na se afi apagya ne mu pa woni aka ebo wonum ema wowu yenso na afrase eye 118 enipa enko a eno no eno ena afi so de no apagya ne mu ede akọ 158 na se ni nyina apagya ne mu ewo soro eno nti wo hye na wobɔ ho amane se yenhwe na yenya hweyie se de beya yebetumi atesa enyoman eso Dr. Akwasi Ajeni Mboaten.
So, as I said earlier, January to March first quarter 2026, we had 202 people dying on our highways in Ashanti region. In that same period, last year, we had 194 people dying. So we had a marginal increase in fatalities in the region. Then when you take a look at pedestrian knockdowns, we had 158 pedestrian knockdown in the region. Then in January to March 2026, the same period in 2025, we had 118 pedestrian knockdowns. So it's an issue. Generally, we have high fatalities in the region as compared to other regions in the country. And we have, if you look at the source, Ashanti region itself, or the police jurisdiction, Kumasi and its peripheries, they're having a lot of pedestrian knockdowns as compared to Ashanti South, that's from Edriso to Konongo, Daso, or Boase. That area, we have a lot of speeding. Then you take the Ashanti North, we have a lot of speeding now. Faithful to Techimai Highway, so we have a lot of speeding along those areas.
Na jumadie no woni a eso asene na wokofa jumadie no edebaye Total Energies Foundation wonum ane Olibest Road Safety Organization ena waka won ho bom mu ekofa saa kasa ho jumadie edebaye na ne nyina ade baako a wo hwe ni mu kwan se opese wo ye ene se wo pese wonya emabuna hodo a wo oman ne mu se de beya obetumi agina honom se ambassador na watumi aboa abodawuro edefa akwanhia eho se de beya ye betumi asua de na timamufo nso ani aba won ho so na enkwanhia wo yi enoso bebre ano nti wofa nipa hodo bese aduonu 20 edifri asante mantemu sanso na ofa aduonu edifri eastern region bono region so aduonu wonum nyina na wakeka wo mu abomu na wode wonum afa entity mu se de beye obetumi agina se ambassadors na wabo dawuro ediafa enkwanhia wo ho na aboa matimamufo nso asiade na ate sede enkwanhia wo ekosoro wo Ghana mu no na Kumasi area manager edema Total Energies Foundation Ernest Butia ena edisa ensemuyi eto ensentrofo animu.
From statistics, we've seen that we have a lot of school children involved in road accidents, some getting injured, some dying. So it's key that Total Energies will partner our local rep, that's Olibest Road Safety Organization, to look at measures, put in place measures to educate the youth, to create awareness about road safety, to empower them to become road safety ambassadors, to influence their peers to adopt good road safety practices, and then also work with the community as well. The whole aim of this program is to reduce road accidents, especially related to the youth. Last year, we had over 300 children dying from road accidents, which is very key. You know, when it comes to safety for Total Energies, it's a core value, but road safety is a shared responsibility. So we encourage everybody to partner us and work with us towards
Richard Kaakyire enso Chief Executive Officer Edema Olibest Road Safety Organization den sem ne bi tuja na ochre se jumadie ya wonuma di womoni suade hunu ni wombotaye nyina ene se wobetumi aboa na sede ka ebobo nipa hodo ya wonumo twa kwan mu na wonam kwan ho no eso ebetumi ate ne titrew ene emofra ya ka etimi ebobo wonum no esa eso ebetumi ate afri ho.
Jumadie no ni titru pa ne se eye enkwada no wo se wo mo ideas de ma wo mo su ehuru e wo bra wo mo traka mu ba school bra wo ma pon ko bra mo nam kwan ho de no mu hunu sometimes mpanifo no de yehu ye keka mebre but enya adwuma enti se de ye de ba efam ama enkwala no 12 to 18 years no eye ambassador via no ya create enti se schools 8 uko Eastern Regional you 1 school uko Bona you 2 schools and about Ashanti Regional you 5 schools said ye na mo hu omo ha say no enti sa nipa 20 na omo ambassadors no omo ni omo teachers yakomo omo training no omo na se mu behu omo abontene na niema omo hunu
asukufo ne bi ene yen centro ni ya na wo ho critical combat ede atwetwe nkomo ene wonum ekirese wonum agye tumpa no wo hyebo se wo beboa na akyerekere mapa ya esefata no wo de aba wonum eyonko ene timamufo se de beya woni ebetimi aba won ho so na wahu kwampa wo betimi aso sa enkwanhia wuo no ano.
Advice to my fellow students, not only in the senior high school sector, but also the JHS, primary, kindergarten, and all other stages, that they should take care of the road while using. We should go by the road signs, also abide by the road traffic rules and regulations concerning the road, and we should also I also encourage my fellow mom and dads and also parents and families in the house to also abide by the rules and regulations on the road.
So with this program, we can teach them how to cross the road. We can teach them the meaning of road signs. They know what it means. They know what to do when they see a road sign. So they won't contradict to the road sign and cause road accidents.
Abusia na enwumre yesre semo famo bre emfam yen e wo Fache TV so yemfa prime time emremo enwumre no nsia bre mu kase a na ha ne de bibia ba bieye Millennium Construction adaromo e na ahoden no e wo ho ya bre bia ye kenkan kase e de somhom asase na apesa woto asase no sane ne kase tie Ghana hanko ade a Millennium Construction na mekamfo akyerewo woto asase no ewia ehu adwuma nyina so wo de hye won mo nsa won be ne kama no wani jewe opeye dream mansion dream house ya wo pesa da ache wotene mu no eno ane se obekọ no akoyi mfoni na kire wonom wo mo be ya adwuma no yopo ehu bete kama na won so wanya baabi ene obusuafo atena fe se wo nko na contractors a wotimisi dreams e ma ne be ya reality wasan tonton adansi ehu ne ma hodo nyina binti bibia wo pe na de akọ asase bi so akoye project no ya no akọ Millennium Construction wo asase e na apesa wo ton so ade hye wo monsa wo beton amam oha ne fa adansi ehu a enkwati wonom enya bibia se de be ya wo nkwaji osika enie ye kọ boshen na ya junction wo Kumasi he ya na ya ni wo makoto kesa na se be fa number no wo screen so no ne afre ne mpanimfo akasa makenkanfo enwumre yeme AFIA chumwa ketri bene
Obrempong akwasi jeboa
ene asomo yadamo ase ene mo breye soristo na obrefie atwaso
For Mosheme, meeting the Dr. P.K. Usa at Grace Phyto Clinic and Medical Diagnosis Solution, you walk Kumasi Report Highways and Accra, so you walk Kabinyata Station. At Grace Phyto Clinic, your specialty Ankasa Aye, Awo, and Nemu Yare, and Johnson.